Guys, what's up everybody, and welcome back to House of a Warrior. My name is Lauren Adoyo. If you're new here, karibu sana. If you're an old member, thank you so much for coming back to watch another video. Please keep telling a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend to check us out, and let's fill this house up. Okay, so I am back again with another Sickle Monday video, you guys. And today I'm a bit excited, like not a bit, like I am excited. You know what? There's a cure. There's talks of a new cure. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's been talked of for a while. I was just gathering information, so there's talks of a new cure that is being approved, actually has been approved at this point by the time you guys are watching this. And yeah, I just saw reports yesterday that it was first approved in London, in the UK. Yeah, so let's talk about cure. Let's talk about a cure. Okay, so before we go into the actual cure that has just been announced, let me give you a bit of a history of the options, the treatment options that we have currently for sickle cell disease, and what has been the cure. What has been the cure before this new cure has actually been announced. So the first one is hydroxyurea. You guys know this. Hydroxyurea was the first drug to be approved by the FDA in 1998, if I'm not wrong. Yes. So hydroxyurea, I have notes, guys. I always have notes. I never want to mince my words because I'm not a doctor. Mostly I rely on what I know because I am a warrior myself, and I think a lot of knowledge about sickle cell disease. That is why I'm even here trying to educate you guys. So I always try and have notes just in case I forget anything, and also just so that I don't give out any false information that is not out there quite yet. Okay, so hydroxyurea increases hemoglobin, therefore transports oxygen better to prevent sickling of the red blood cells. And when your red blood cells sickle, that is when you go into a sickle cell crisis. Okay, hydroxyurea also maintains our organs. You guys, if you're a warrior, actually I was at a mentorship meeting a few weeks ago, and I discovered that there are warriors who haven't been on hydroxyurea for years and years. Of course, reasons were things like finances and other severe effects that comes with taking hydroxyurea, which I'm gonna tell you some of them right now. But I was quite surprised. I have had this effect before, and I told my doctor, and he was like, no, you're gonna take your hydroxyurea, young girl. There's no escaping that one. So I was really surprised to learn that some warriors actually survive without it, which is really good. Actually, I'm just a bit jealous. Yeah, so some of the effects of hydroxyurea increase include hair loss, lower sperm count, discolorization of the nails, blurry vision. And as much as all this happen, hydroxyurea is actually also one of the only drugs or medication that decrease mortality in sickle cell disease. So it's a good thing either way. Okay, another treatment option that we've had lately, not lately, since forever, are the blood transfusion. Now there's the normal blood transfusion, which you just get in healthy blood into your system, and there's also exchange blood transfusion, which you get out the unhealthy blood and you get in new healthy blood. So if you're on these types of treatments, you have to do it more consistently, just to keep up with with the demands of your body. Okay, another treatment option we've had are folic acid, of course, and antibiotics. Folic acids definitely help in making new red blood cells for our bodies. As you know, for a normal human beings, your red blood cells can be alive up to 120 days, guys. That is a blessing because for warriors, our bodies our red blood cells die within 10 to 20 days. So we always have to make new red blood cells for ourselves. That's why we take folic acid. For antibiotics, we use this to fight infections because our immunity is really low, and so we tend to catch a lot of infections. Since having kids, my goodness, anything they have, I get. So you treat that by just taking antibiotics, of course, under any doctor's advisements. I'm not telling you to go out there and buy crazy antibiotics. Okay, the fourth one are vaccines. And of course, there's a lot of hullabaloo about vaccines out there. So take it to your discretion. I don't know what your beliefs on vaccines are, but there are some out there that are really, really good. Like the flu vaccine, if you take that once a year, it can prevent you from having flus. Sorry guys if I seem distracted. My kids are here watching TV, and Alani just decided to take a walk. What do you want? Let me finish 1 second, okay? Okay, the cure that we've had currently, or before this new cure talks came about, was the bone marrow transplant, or also known as the stem cell transplant. But I always say that it's not a cure. I always say, because from all the reading I've done and from all the doctors I've talked to, these people still are on sickle cell disease care, so I normally don't regard it quite as much as as a cure. And then there's the gene therapy. Okay, so those so far are the treatment options and the cure that you guys we had. Okay, so when it comes to these therapies, you guys, they are so expensive. That is why, especially in the sub-Saharan countries, not many people have done this, because from the research I have done, only people in the first world countries have tried and stuff like that, or unless you get you're in a clinical trial and stuff like that, then you can, because they're really crazy expensive, and also they require a specialist. These are not procedures that you will get done by any general doctors, practitioners. These are procedures that you get done by a specialist, someone that has done it on a warrior before, someone that has studied sickle cell, someone that knows what they are doing. After that, you also need to go to specialist centers, and those are not readily available, especially not in Kenya. I have not heard of one specialist center that will give you an aftercare of such things. And then stem cell transplant has just been done in Kenya recently in 2022, and this was not even on a sickle cell disease patient. This was on another patient, but they did not suffer from sickle cell. And so you see how recent this is. The range, by the time this person got this amount that was announced, was from 2.5 million to 3.5 million. I can only imagine how much they go for now. So these are not things that you just wake up one day and decide to go get it. This will there's a lot to consider. If you want to go that route. First of all, you have to find a donor, and a matching donor is hard to find. Sometimes you might not even match your parents. They have to go to your closest relative, who could be your sibling, and God forbid something happened to them just because they were trying to save your life. Okay, enough of that. Let's talk about this new cure that has just been approved. It has been approved by the FDA, and it is an IV infusion called Exacel. Very cute name. It will be the first treatment that uses CRISP. I will write it down here. It's a really tricky word to roll off the tongue. CRISP technology that allows scientists to change DNA. And of course it has effects, and one of the effects is that from the study I read is that you could develop leukemia, and even if you didn't, you would have to be in their care for 15 years. They would have to be monitoring you for 15 years, and that is one of the ones they only mentioned, which means that is like the most dangerous effect. But what about the little minute ones? There's a lot, you guys. Okay, so am I optimistic? Of course, I am hopeful. I am always hopeful for any breakthrough when it comes to sickle cell, because of the kids, of the little babies that are born every day with sickle cell disease. I wouldn't want anyone to grow up like I did. So for them, yes, I wouldn't take the cure myself. I don't know if I've mentioned that before, but I wouldn't alter my DNA like that. I have lived with this disease for so long. I have learned how to manage myself. Of course, there are those moments that you get into a really bad crisis that you just want to end it, if you know what I mean. But not not ignoring the fact that sickle cell is a really, really horrible disease and fatal at that. I still wouldn't, even if I was offered like a scholarship or something, what are they called? Like if I was given the scholarship to go do it, I would give it to someone who really, really wanted it. Yeah. So I wouldn't do it for myself, but I am always hopeful. I'm excited. I'm excited with my sickle cell community along with them, because I am in a group where every day any news breaks, it's posted on there, and people are excited, people are hopeful, people are just looking forward to. But again, like I said, there's a lot to consider. The applicability of this cure, especially here in Kenya, especially in these small countries, how does it apply to us? There's a lot to talk about. Who needs this cure? Especially affordability and access to this cure. You can imagine if the stem cell transplant is this expensive. Can you imagine altering your DNA? Like, how much more could that be? Just how much more could that be? Okay, side effects, and now I'm talking about it is the little things that matter. So they might think they give us the big one, the one that we should all be scared about, but sorry guys, I'm even drooling. It's the little ones, that really matter, I feel like. So practicality of this, especially in Africa, which I've already mentioned, and how would countries need to prepare to receive this cure. So it's nice to be excited. It's nice to see a light at the end of the tunnel. I encourage that. I am happy for my warriors. I am happy that there's still research being done to find out how we can be helped. And for me, it goes back to the children, especially the children. Like I always say, I wish there was an IV where we could just go at the end of every month and get an IV drip that is just constituted of hydroxyurea, and therefore we don't have to take the damn tablet every single day. But looking at the kids, I'm like, I wish there was a cure that could help these kids from birth, because altering any DNA, I'm no scientist and I'm no genius, but I think altering any DNA would work best in childhood, like in those prime years, so yeah, for those kids, I'm always hopeful, I'm always excited, I am optimistic, just not for myself. My cat is trying to drag my feet. Just not for myself, but that doesn't take away from the fact that research is still being done, and we are very, very, very grateful. Me and the rest of the people that are out here advocating for warriors, I am truly, truly excited, and I can only hope that they finally approve of it, like really, really fast, and put a few people into this clinical trial, and let's see if it actually works. And yeah, that's it for me. I'm sorry, it seems like I've rushed through this, and I feel like I have, but I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys, can go and do more research on this and come inform me of something that maybe I bypassed, or I did not, I looked through. So yeah, let's be excited together. Let's cheer on our warriors, just encourage our warrior to keep their heads up, and let's just all be hopeful for the best. Yeah. And if the government is listening, please let's start preparing our country to receive this cure as well, and let's not make it something that we have to come and beg for, you know, by making it hella expensive, or by making it very inaccessible, or, you know, like just things that happen like that, that, you know, shouldn't happen in this case. First, I feel like we should prioritize the kids. If this actually even comes to fruition, let's prioritize the kids. So that's it. At this point, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but yeah, I'm done. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for coming back to watch another video. Please keep telling a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend to check us out, and let's fill this house up, and I will see you guys in the next video.